안녕하세요. 로이코의 정지윤입니다. 오늘 이곳 로이코에 아주 특별한 게스트가 함께 해주셨는데요. 최근 많은 관심을 받고 있는 캐나다 대표 하이엔드 스피커 브랜드인 패러다임에서 직접 방문해 주셨습니다. 이 패러다임은 북미에서 최대 규모의 스피커 제조 시설을 갖추고 있고 북미 최대 음향 연구기관인 NRC와 과학 기반의 사운드 연구를 하며 스피커 설계 방식을 고수해온 브랜드입니다. 이러한 패러다임의 중동과 아시아 지역의 비지니스 개발 매니저를 담당하고 계시는 발토스 하보스 씨와 함께 인터뷰를 진행해 보도록 하겠습니다. 오시느라 수고가 많으셨습니다. 작년에는 패러다임의 부사장이신 존 소든 씨가 함께 해주셔서 정말 뜻깊은 인터뷰를 진행했었는데요. 이번에는 발토스 씨와 함께 이야기를 할 수 있어서 더 기대가 됩니다. 간단하게 소개 부탁드리겠습니다.
So my name is Bart, or Bartosz, if you can pronounce Polish, which might be, difficult for you. So actually I'm based in Poland and I work for PML Sound. That's a group that markets 3 brands in the audio industry, and one of them is obviously Paradigm. So I'm based in Poland and I'm responsible for Asia and Middle East.
감사합니다. 많은 오디오 파일 분들은 패러다임을 알고 계시지만 아직 접해보지 못하신 분들을 위해서 브랜드 소개를 부탁드리겠습니다.
With pleasure. So we're based in Canada. We've been in the market for more than 40 years. And the company was established actually many years ago, and the purpose was to convert the science and the research that was done at University of Ottawa into a marketable product. So that's the benefit that we have as a Canadian company, actually access to the result. So what they did at the university, they did a lot of testing. They invited people. We've done a lot of blind tests in order to determine what people considered good sound. And as a result, we found out that actually 96% of people prefer the same type of sound. And we have applied the results into products. And obviously since then we have continued developing new technologies, and that's why I guess the brand is known in the world, and we are happy to have customers in many parts of the world.
중동과 아시아 지역의 비즈니스 개발 매니저로 일하고 계시는데요. 어떤 업무를 담당하고 계신가요?
It's about traveling a lot, so I visit many countries and basically to find out what's happening, because I guess without actually spending a bit of time in each of the countries, you don't get the proper impression. I'm trying to find out what kind of support they need, what type of product is requested by because there are differences between countries, and because the better the product you have, the more it is the easier it is actually to sell it. So I think it's very important to understand the market, and and basically sometimes it's about just supporting the people that work locally. It's about giving them the right knowledge, training, things like that.
아시아 시장을 담당하시면서 여러 나라를 경험하셨을 것 같은데요. 아시아 오디오 시장은 국가별로 좀 다른 특징들이 있었나요?
So as I said before, actually there are some differences between countries. And I would say the main difference is in how traditional the market is. I mean, in certain countries, people are only interested in 2-channel stereo. That's it. But as you know, in Paradigm, we offer more categories. We offer multi-channel solution. We offer custom install. So we see that in some countries, people are more and more interested in those kinds of solutions. They combine custom install with home automation. Smart home solutions. So we see there is more and more interest, but some countries, stay very traditional. The same applies to, using DSP, for example, or room calibration. Some people say it's just interference into sound. That's not natural. And we see that others see benefits of doing that. So, those things are basically, there are some differences between countries. And one other thing I'd like to mention is, for example, the use of subwoofers. Mm-hmm. Some people say, I just want my floor stander to do the work, and adding a subwoofer again is some form of interference. Others, see the benefit of actually using a subwoofer even in a 2-channel setup. And we've got some people actually using more than one. And the fact is, the more you use, the better overall performance you get. I would say that Japan and Korea are more traditional. That's my observation. So not many people are interested in home theaters. That used to be the story in the past, not anymore. We see that there is more resistance to custom install. These are my observations. Again, subwoofers are not very popular. I guess maybe it has something to do with, how people live. Maybe apartments don't lend themselves, to subwoofers because you care about the neighbors, right? But again, technology can help with that. And that I'd like to mention as well, that using ARC, one of the technologies we developed within the group, actually you can reduce the negative effects of using subwoofers for your neighbors. Because the better you calibrate the subwoofer in your room, the less sound will get through, penetrate the wall and get to the other room. So we see growth, in China, we see growth in Taiwan, Southeast Asia. More and more people are interested because, CI, actually people used to consider that CI is a worse quality of audio, right? Because these products are smaller, so they think compromises have been made in order to squeeze the sound into smaller boxes, but that's not the case anymore. If you look at what we do at Paradigm, the technologies we develop for floor standers, we apply them to custom install products. So there's no sacrifice. Obviously there are limitations, but there are solutions to make up for them.
세계적인 오디오 시장에 대해서 들어보았는데요. 이제는 패러다임에 대해서 여쭤보도록 하겠습니다. 패러다임은 북미 최대 규모의 스피커 제조 시설을 갖추고 있고 NRC와 같이 과학 기반의 사운드 연구에도 힘을 많이 쓰고 있어서 이미 강점이 많이 드러나는데요. 패러다임만의 가장 큰 차별화된 포인트가 있다면 무엇일까요?
Okay, a few things we can mention. Probably, obviously, mention the research, and I have to say the research continues. So many scientists, who are involved at the research many years ago, they are with us at the moment. We have actually a research facility in Ottawa, in Canada. This is where Park is. So our research unit that continues the work, on new materials, new technologies, and this is where Paradigm speakers and also Anthem electronics are designed. So we continue the research. If you, for example, one of the strong features that we develop and we sort of continue developing is the ARC Genesis. It's the software that you can use to calibrate speakers, electronics. Those active speakers and processors to actually make the best of the listening space. So they will calibrate the product taking into account the acoustics of the listening room. And that's that makes a huge difference because in our living spaces we have certain acoustic issues. Walls are reflective. Waves, they interact with each other. The way the reflected waves interact with the original ones, and then certain frequencies are you see peaks and dips in the frequency response. Obviously, that's not ideal. You can treat the room acoustically, but certain things are very difficult to overcome. So that's where ARC really helps. So after doing all the initial treatments, checking what the best position for the speakers is, that's the last thing that actually, helps you get as close to perfection as possible. So that's ARC. There are other technologies that we develop, like the PPA, so perforated face alignment, the lenses that we use for the tweeter and the mid-range driver, and they are meant to stop out-of-phase content from coming out of the driver. Again, because those waves, actually at those frequencies, the waves are very small, and they're actually smaller than the diaphragm, which means you've got reflections within the driver itself. And then basically to us this is noise. So we want to block the noise because it has an impact on imaging, on soundstage, on all those things we like about audio. So so if you look at the shape, it's designed in such a way that it's very efficient. And that also helps with off-axis response. So you get a wider soundstage, and also being off-axis, you can enjoy the full sound without any really deficiencies in frequencies. So that helps. Then going down, looking at the speaker, the woofer, for the woofers we use active rich technology. That these are the corrugated overmolded surrounds that we use for the bass drivers, and what they do is they allow the cone to be pushed further out in a pistonic motion, and that's very important because normally with a traditional driver with the surround you've got ripples. At some point when the diaphragm moves out, basically you've got compression around the edges, and that means basically noise. And that limits the amount of power you can get out of the driver. So using our solution, basically you get louder sound. The driver, the speaker will actually be louder, and at least 3 dB. Plus it will be more durable because again, less strain on the driver. So yeah, a lot of benefits using that, and actually by doing that also, because the movement is more pistonic, then you get better reproduction of the lowest frequencies as well. So that's where accuracy really can be noticed.
이미 패러다임의 시그니처 기술들을 많이 설명을 해주셨는데 혹시 또 더하고 싶으신 내용이 있나요?
Well, as Paradigm, we offer a lot of solutions tailored to the needs of the customer. So I think that's a good thing. Like, for example, we have a decor series, which is a nice solution if you don't have a lot of space and want to have a better sound than you get from a sound bar. So basically what you can do, you can surround your TV with different configuration of speakers. You can have 2 channels, you can have 3 channels, different solutions. And what we can do for the customer is prepare in Canada, and these products are made in Canada, the speaker exactly matching the TV. So they are cut to size, tailor-made. So if the customer gives us the model name or the dimensions, we can match sort of the TV perfectly. So there is a lot of customization possible. So that's one thing. Then talking about finishes for the Founder range, for the Persona, we offer the possibility of ordering a special color. I guess that can be interesting. Especially these days, people want fashionable interiors. They want the speakers to match the environment, and in this way, I guess you can choose the ones that really would fit the interiors.
말씀해 주신 것처럼 이제 패러다임 같은 경우에는 커스텀 컬러가 제작이 가능한데요. 그 부분에서도 정말 큰 강점을 가지고 있는 것 같습니다. 아까 말씀해 주셨던 것처럼 오디오 시장이 조금씩 변해가고 있습니다. 패러다임은 앞으로 어떤 방향으로 나아갈 계획인지 궁금합니다.
Research never stops. So I guess we keep working on new technologies, new solutions. Those people who say, that the best technology happened was in the past, that now things, get worse and worse. We don't necessarily agree. We see that there is a lot of progress in terms of drivers. We're working on new materials that have better properties. That's one thing. We're exploring also, different markets, so to speak, or avenues in terms of product categories like custom install. I think that this will continue to grow. We see, that there is a lot of interest from many countries. So I think this will continue. And if you look at chips, they get better and better also. So the quality of conversion is getting better. So it's just you have to continue, working on new generations of products. But we at Paradigm, we only launch products when we are sure that they actually offer some kind of upgrade. So we don't, launch product for the sake of launching them. It's just, we have to be ready. Another thing that I think might become more popular, and we see signs in many countries, is there is more and more Dolby Atmos content. More and more movies available on streaming services. We see a lot of equipment capable of reproducing Dolby Atmos content. So this might be also one area of development in the industry. Again, we've seen things that didn't work, right? Really globally, like Blu-ray. We've seen, DVD audio. We've seen SACD, which is a very niche format. Mm-hmm. But it's a possibility. We see demand in many markets, and many customers have multi-channel setups. So as always, I guess the most important thing is having the content. Once the content is there, more and more people would like to experience it. So we'll see if that works out.
이건 객관적인 의견을 여쭙는 건데요. 패러다임에서 일하시기 전에 다른 오디오 회사에서도 계셨었는데요. 발토스가 생각하시기에 패러다임의 사운드는 좀 어떤 특성을 갖고 있나요?
Spent some time with Paradigm speakers. Actually, I have Founder 80 at home. I would say it's a sophisticated sound, and it just has to be experienced, because many of us have preconceptions, or we are biased, and we are biased because of the speakers we have at home. Sometimes, we are used to a certain type of sound, and at first we say, okay, this is different. Do I like it? Do I not like it? It takes a while for you to get used to it. But I think, I would say, you can really hear what the research was about. And it's a very rich sound with lots of depth, but something that is not, overpowering or imposing on you.
벌써 마지막 질문입니다. 마지막으로 한국에 계신 오디오 애호가 분들께 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
What can I say? I'm really happy to be here. I really enjoy the country, and thanks for having me here. It's always a pleasure to spend time with the distributor. I mean, I'd like to encourage everybody from Korea to get acquainted with the products. Royco is a good partner. They are very focused. They understand the products. They can advise on the solution. So, I do recommend those people get in touch, and I hope you will enjoy it.
Thank you. 네, 아쉽지만 이렇게 바트 씨와의 인터뷰를 마무리하도록 하겠습니다. 정말 시간 내주셔서 감사합니다. 패러다임은 정밀한 과학적 설계와 음악적인 감성을 함께 추구하며 지금 이 순간에도 새로운 기술들을 선보이며 끊임없이 진화하고 있습니다. 앞으로 패러다임이 선보일 사운드, 그리고 그 여정을 더 많은 분들이 함께 할 수 있기를 기대합니다. 감사합니다.
Bye.